dogs barking in the background, but that should end very soon, hopefully. Hopefully. Welcome everyone to the Monday live stream. Are you going live? Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I am going live, and today I want to talk about fish that are not very good for community aquariums. I'm not going to say terrible, bad. Actually, I think I did say bad. Okay, bad fish for community aquariums. Excited for your new fry, Bob? Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Talking about my trout goodyids, I assume anyways. But anyways, so before we get started, I want to give a shout out to the Aquarist podcast, Randy. I was on his show last week, so check that out if you haven't listened to it yet. It's pretty fun. I do a pretty good job of keeping him off topic and kind of all over the place, which was my plan from the start. Yeah, he had up this itinerary of things he wanted to go over, and I was trying my hardest to keep him off of that itinerary. So it was pretty fun. I think it's about an hour and a half of randomness, and if I was smart, I'd have it up for you guys to link it. Let me take a look here. I'll find it real quick. Aquarist podcast. How long am I going live? I go 2 hours every Monday. 2 hours every Monday. So there it is. Give that a listen after the stream if you're still needing some more Bob time, I guess. Andrew says, great podcast, Bob. Can't wait to hear more about the sunfish competition. Yes, there's some fun stuff we got. We actually bought fish during the podcast, so that was really fun. And I can't wait to do it again. We got a lot more to talk about. Actually, my very first real podcast. I've done a lot of live streams, but I've never done a podcast before, and it was really fun. And I told him that we need to get video, but then it would just be a live stream. Well, it wouldn't be a live stream. It would still be a podcast. Yeah, even with video, I think. Technically, right? Yeah, there's lots of podcasts with videos. What am I talking about? But anyways, that's all I got for you. Oh, no, I got more. I got to give congratulations to John and Lisa at KG Tropicals. They recently hit 250,000 subscribers, which is huge. It's huge. And Corey, who hit 500,000 subscribers, hopefully by the time I just said that. He's been at 499,000 for a pretty fair minute, and I'm sure by now he's at 500,000. So a preemptive congratulations to those two channels. They've been killing it the last couple years, so congratulations. All right, let's get on to the topic. And I'm going to keep my portion short and sweet. I got a couple fish that I want to call out, and I want you guys to call out fish too. But I don't want you to say I just don't want you to name out fish. I mean, you certainly can, but I want you to say why. So I'm speaking purely anecdotally. So these are fish that I've kept myself that I have found to be terrible for the community aquarium. And, it's not like just because it didn't work for me, it won't work for you. So just throwing that out there, somewhere someone's doing some crazy stuff and it works. So, but these fish did not work for me. Fish Tank Barn with a $1.50 super chat. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. So the first fish, the jewel cichlid. Jewel cichlid. I put a jewel cichlid. I don't even remember where I got it, but I remember getting it for free. I think I might have got it from my local fish store before it closed down. And beautiful fish. Absolutely beautiful fish. Put it in my tank, and it was good for a couple months, and then something triggered it. Something happened. It started going after fish. It started destroying my plants. And after about a month of that, I finally took it back to the local fish store and said, you can have this fish back. They were very fin nippy, not so aggressive that it was killing other fish, but it was definitely nipping other fish. And, I had it with rainbow fish and tetras, corridors, things like that. And it was basically like whatever swam by it at the time, it would just nip at it. So, yeah, jewel cichlids, I would not put those in community aquariums ever again. Next on my list is one of my favorite all-time fish from all the way back to when I was like 10 years old keeping fish. And that is, I wonder if anyone can guess. No one's going to guess. But I'm just going to say the Pictus catfish. And it's not that they're aggressive. It's not that they're fin nippers. It's just that they are super hyperactive fish. Probably, if I can remember, 30 years of fish keeping ish. I don't know that I have had any fish that are more just super hyperactive. I mean, just off the rails, going 9,000 miles an hour all the time, and super food motivated. As soon as any food hits the water, they get it before anything else. And it's really a shame because they're really cool. So if you did like a tank of like just Pictus catfish and you got like 20 of them, it would be one of the coolest tanks ever. I mean, just because of those same reasons, right? They're super active. They're super fast. They're just always up to something. They never just sit still. It's crazy. And I think that that's a tank that I would like to do at some point. And they do get fairly big. They do get fairly big as well, but I'm not going to exclude big fish from the community aquarium just because they're big. I mean, you could have a really big tank. So, but yeah, super cool fish, really hyperactive, and just I couldn't get them to work. Like any tank I put them in, they would outcompete any other fish for food. And it's not even that as soon as the food hit the bottom of the aquarium, you put flakes that float on the top, they're right up there, upside down, splashing around, and no other fish are getting fed, I swear. But they're really entertaining fish, though. So really cool for like a species only, but not for the community aquarium. I already see some good suggestions in here. Bob Kaler with the 99-cent super chat. Thank you, Bob Kaler. I appreciate it. So next on the list is a fish that I kept a long, long time ago, and probably not a fish that I would recommend to anyone at any point. And I'm not saying that it's not a cool fish. I'm not saying that there aren't people that shouldn't keep it. There's definitely a place in the hobby for them, but that is convict cichlids. And the reason I say this, so convict cichlids for me is like if you're going in and you're building your aquarium for convict cichlids, that's one thing. But if you already have your community aquarium, you got your rainbow fish, obviously, right? You got your corridoras, and then you put in convict cichlids, you're going to have a bad time. I think we all know enough about convict cichlids to know probably not the best community fish. Now, you know, there's lots of people out there with like Central, South American, mixing them, putting them in community cichlid tanks. But I don't really consider those like community aquariums. Those are just more aggressive aquariums, I guess. Not really. When I think community, I think friendly, not a tank full of angry cichlids. So I have kept the convict cichlid once. They reproduce like guppies. It's insane. Eventually, you'll end up with thousands of them. So, yep, that's number 3 on my list, the convict cichlids. Bob Kaler says convicts are the chihuahuas of the fish world. So, next is a fish that I've only kept one time. I've never kept it long enough to actually see a full-grown one. I saw a full-grown one at Aquarium Co-op about a month ago, and I didn't even know what it was. I think I thought it was a loach, as a matter of fact. I don't know if I can go back there. Obviously, I can't do it right now, but man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said it was a loach. And it turns out it was a Chinese algae eater because I've never seen an adult one. And I kept these a long time ago. They were super aggressive, definitely fin nippers. Would not recommend them at all. They don't even eat algae. So Chinese algae eaters don't eat algae. Siamese algae eaters is the way to go. They do eat algae, but they do get fairly large as well. They get bigger than Chinese algae eaters. Yeah, Chinese algae eater. See, if we go back, we'll go back to To Ken Lee Schindler says, I have convicts with my Jaguar. Yeah, see, that's like the convict setup. Not like you wouldn't put a convict in the tank behind me, which is in my view, my experience, this behind me is a community aquarium. But like convicts with Jaguar cichlids is not. But again, that's just me. I'm not saying it's a bad aquarium. So yeah, Chinese algae eaters, don't get them. Pay a little extra money. It's not even that. I mean, it's like 40 cents more for a Siamese algae eater, and you actually get something that eats algae. So say no to Chinese algae eaters. And I got one more on the list, and there's probably a few different species that are kind of like this fish, and that's the red-tailed shark. And the reason the red-tailed shark is on my list is because when I kept them, they fin-nipped everything. They went after fins, they went after eyeballs, they went after scales. Just really kind of jerks. And not even not jerks like super aggressive. They just wanted to like eat other fish, I guess. I don't know. But you could just sit there and watch them go after eyeballs and fins, and it just wasn't a good experience. And of course, this was a long time ago when I kept this fish. This was back when I had to have every shark under the sun. And Joe Kirk says, Bala sharks, gorgeous and love them, but terrible in a community. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the sharks are going to be that way. And Bala sharks get really huge too. And not often do you see Bala sharks being kept appropriately, myself included. I have a Bala shark. I only have one. They're a schooling fish, so I'm a terrible fish keeper. It's the way it goes. But I don't find them to be as Bala sharks as I don't find them to be as bad as red-tailed sharks. My Bala shark is in with corridors, rainbow fish. He was in with rainbow shiners at one point, tetras. So he's been in with smaller fish and never really had an issue. So I just think that Bala sharks, if I put them on the list, it would be just because they get huge. But again, if you had like a 9,000 gallon tank, then it would work. You could have a colony of Bala sharks. You could have a ton of schooling fish in there. So Alexander Lamb says, I once stuck an electric blue Aquara cichlid in a 55 gallon guppy tank because it's a community cichlid and proceeded to kill everything in my tank. Yeah, I wouldn't. Electric blue Aquaras, I don't know that I would put them in a community tank either. Looks like we got a new member. That's pretty exciting. The Weiss. Welcome to the dream team, the Weiss. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome. Really cool video last week if you're into outdoor camping type stuff. Like an 18-minute video of Jimmy and I out camping. Really worth the watch, I think. It's a really, really cool video. Probably the best video I've done in a while, to be honest. Fish Room Fever with the $1 super chat. Thank you, my friend. So that's my list. It's short because I don't necessarily go out of the realm of community fish for my tanks, except for when I was a kid. So that's why I kind of want to lean on you guys, get some suggestions from you. I've already seen some names thrown around in chats here. Let's see if I can scroll. Actually, now is when I want you guys to chime in, be a part of the conversation. You can lurk if you want, but just drop a fish here. Bare Bottoms Aquarium says, I kept 2 red-tailed sharks in a 90-gallon community. Worked well. They would only chase each other. I wonder if that's the secret, because I've only done one at a time. So maybe the fact that you had 2 of them in there. Also, I did not have them in a 90-gallon aquarium. So maybe that's the secret as well. When I had mine, it was just a baby, like 3 inches, and it was in a 29, and then I think I moved it to a 55 eventually. Nanacaras. Paul says, Nanacaras are little terrors. They definitely can be. One that I've never had an issue with is the golden dwarf Nanacara. Those guys are actually pretty calm, at least the ones I have. I wouldn't say the hardiest of fish. Definitely had my fair share of issues with them, but never really had them going after like other fish. Oh, Susie Q Aquatics is here. So yes, I was also on, in addition to the Aquarius podcast this weekend, I was also on Susie Q's live stream, and it was a lot of fun. You guys should check that out too. Again, after this stream, if you feel like you need more Bob, go check out Susie Q and watch that stream. It was pretty fun. So UPS You're Living the Dream says, rainbow cribenzas are horrible for community tanks with rainbows from my experience. And I feel like for that to work, it would have to be a pretty large, like you would definitely need like a 4-foot, 55-gallon tank. Because especially when cribenzas are spawning, they can get a little nasty. So definitely good to have a lot of space if you're keeping those two together. Tinfoil barbs. Stephen Tomlinson says tinfoil barbs are murderous buggers too. Tinfoil barbs. That's a fish I have never kept before, ever. Well, we just got a huge spike in viewership, so I'm assuming Aquarium Co-op must be done streaming. Oh boy, here's a whole list. Snakeheads, bikers, bichers, bickers, pretty much all large Central American cichlids. Yep. All the predatory catfish in all the South America and Asia. Oh man. That's quite the list, but a lot of those I wouldn't consider community fish. So I specifically want to talk about fish that maybe people perceive are community fish but are not, that don't make good community fish, and things like it's fish that you wouldn't think of, like the Pristilla tetra, really cool tetra, but definitely a fin nipper. All right. I kept them, and I thought they were the angriest little tetras I've ever kept in my life, until I got I think the diamond tetra. Is that what it is? And it's actually a smaller tetra too. Oops. Obviously, I don't want to search Google for just diamond. Diamond tetra. Oh, my phone's in the way. That's why I can't type. Diamond tetra. No, that's not it. Oh, that's gonna bug me now. But I had a 40 breeder with Pristilla tetras. They were super fin nippy, going after rainbows. And then I bought some other tetras that were smaller. Really wish I could remember what they were, but they tore the crap out of those Pristilla tetras. Like for a small tetra, they were ridiculously aggressive. It was crazy. Let's see. I think common plecos are just some of the worst aquarium fish in general, mainly because they're cheap and available everywhere, which makes them even worse, but plus getting huge. Definitely could be. That's not a fish that I would consider community fish. Unfortunately, there's a lot of chain stores that do, and that's very disappointing. Definitely a fish that should just not be in the hobby anyways. Silver dollar sometimes. Yep. Zebra Danio? Really? You think Zebra Danio? The only issue I have with Zebra Danios is that they're like before when I was talking about Pictus catfish, where they're just super hyper aggressive. And when you drop food in, sometimes nothing else is getting any food. So definitely something. Is it the carry tetra? No, those are the emperor tetras. No, these are silver. They look like Hastatus corridoras, exactly like Hastatus corridoras. So they're silver with the black tip on the tails. They're not very common. And it'll probably come to me at like 3 a.m. I'll just like wake up and be like, oh, that's the tetra. That's the one. Is it Panda tetra? That might be it. Yeah, Panda tetra. There you go. This is like a beautiful tetra. And that's why I bought him. Here, I'll show you guys. I think I want to go here. There we go. Yep. So you can see, definitely looks like the Hastatus corridora with the tail. I set up the tank just for that, right? I had Hastatus corridoras And then I bought these, put them in the same tank. They murdered the Priscilla tetras though. Whew. I think I was left with one. There was Priscilla tetras and lemon tetras, and the lemon tetras were breeding. Like I had fry in there, and nothing. They didn't mess with the Corridoras, only the other tetras. So I would be very careful about these Panda tetras if you buy them. And maybe I just got some angry ones. Maybe they came from the bad side of town, and maybe there's people out there keeping these and they're like super peaceful and have no issues at all. But for me, did not do well. Wait, is this a fish bashing session? No, we're talking about fish that do the bashing. That's what we're doing. What are your thoughts on the Mexican tetra? Is this a thing? I've never heard of it. I hope I'm not getting like... Oh, is this like the cave tetra? So when I type that in, what comes up is the blind cave tetra. And I think those are about some of the ugliest fish I've ever seen in my life. It might have already been said, but Angel can definitely be an absolute terror in community tanks and can also be perfect in community members. I think a lot of times when it comes to angelfish... thanks for the comment, Nuts for Guppies. That was weird sounding. Anyways, I think one thing that makes angels a little bit more angry is warmer temperatures. So like the people that keep angels with discus like up in the 80s, that kind of makes angels a little angry in my experience. In a 40-gallon breeder, 11 cribs, wow, 10 Von Rio tetras, which are awesome, 8 brilliant rasboras, which are very underrated, 8 Panda Cories, 3 autos, lots of plants, rockwork, and driftwood. I'm curious if you started out with 11 cribs, or are they just spawning for you? Yeah, Quirky Lemon says, it's the fish that bash other fish bashing. That is most accurate. Very, very astute. Very apt. Apt analysis. Robert. Okay. What about rainbow sharks with blood parrots? So blood parrot is a fish that I've never kept and I will never keep. And they say never, but I'm pretty confident saying I'll never keep a blood parrot. So I've never really done much research on them, so I'm not the person to ask about blood parrots. I do like rainbow sharks, though. I mean, even though like red tail sharks makes my list, I still like them a lot. They're super cool fish. Science Gal Aquatics says, I want to breed my Carry tetra so badly. Then do it. Get yourself some brine shrimp. Make yourself a little box to catch all the eggs. I don't know. Is that a hard fish to breed? I feel like it would just be like typical egg scatter, but I've never bred it, so what do I know? I need help. Candy might need your help. I totally forgot to leave a 5-star rating for you concerning the turquoise rainbows I bought from you. Definitely order fish from Steenfott Aquatics. Yeah, I don't think I have any fish for sale right now. I have some orange shrimp. I have some really good orange shrimp, but I think that's about all that's on the website right now. Oh, man. Hey, there's Lisa from KG Tropicals. We were talking about you guys earlier, and by we, I mean me. And, all right. Sorry. When people message me during my stream, I feel like it's because there's something wrong. But most of the time, it's because they forget I'm streaming. So, anyways, yes, so congratulating the KG Tropicals team for hitting 250,000 subscribers. Really cool, really cool. $5 super chat from Cullen. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I'm breeding bettas and African cichlids right now. I feel like bettas are really, really becoming popular lately. Like, there's so many wild bettas coming to the hobby in the last year or two. It's crazy. How do you get your Kiribiru fish so blue? Kiribiru. So, this is kind of for all fish. All fish, really. Quality food. Quality food, quality water. And they'll color up. Wow, 250? Yep. Yep, they're finally starting to catch me. Maybe they'll pass me soon. Maybe, I don't know. Danny says, my 40-gallon breeder is my betta sorority community tank with 7 female betta, 5 Rio Flame tetras. Second person with those. Those are really awesome tetras. You don't see them a lot. A golden frog, 6 coolie loaches, a bunch of different snails. Sounds like my tank, snails. 3 guppies and a long fin calico bristlenose. Sounds like a pretty fun tank. I just made a fish Instagram. Is it a cool thing to do in 2020? Is that a cool thing? I don't know. I enjoy looking at Instagram, but I don't really participate that much. And lately, it's usually been like camping stuff or unrelated to fish. Steenfott Aquatics, after watching your video, I got some extra large Hygrophila angustifolia this week and love how it looks in my tank. You were right again. Yes, that is one of the best plants out there. Hygrophila angustifolia is super amazing. If you have high light, it will turn purple, like a really deep dark purple too. It'll get like light pink under some pretty highlight, but if you have like super highlight, it looks really good. You can get some really good colors from that one. Highly recommend that plant. If you ever come across it, ever got a chance to get it, it can grow. Like, you don't need highlight. If you don't have highlight, it's just going to stay green, but it grows fast. It's kind of looks like a jungle val, except way better. Way better. Lisa at KG Tropical says, Bob, your members only camping video was awesome. I agree. That video right there, I feel like if I wasn't in it and somebody else posted that to their members section only, I would feel like I got my money's worth for that month. But that's just me. I thought it was really good. I actually got a lot of compliments on that video. I mean, it was Jimmy as well, obviously. Not just me. Whew. Boy, getting a lot of spam tonight. I love it. I love it. Keep on spamming. How do I convince my parents to let me get more tanks? You just do it. No, honestly, the best thing you could do, as far as like, you say parents, I'm going to assume you're younger. You probably, I mean, I don't know how old you are, but you're probably, I don't know, teenager, maybe. I don't know. The best thing you could do is like, look, I could be addicted to fish or I could be addicted to drugs. Like, come on now. This is the clear choice. I'm learning about biology. I'm learning about ecosystems. It's educational. And there's far worse things in the world to be addicted to. And, keep your grades up. Do good in school. Do your chores. Give them a reason to want to reward you. I did none of that when I was a kid. So, but I bet that would have worked. Steenfott Aquatics, Fish Tank Barn says, I was watching your camping video. Can you just camp anywhere in Washington? Pretty much. It's called dispersed camping. As long as you're 1,000 feet away from a state park, you can camp anywhere in the woods for free. Steven says, I'm late. Did I miss the bad community fish list? Need to know before I click buy this Oscar pair. So I would not consider Oscars to be community safe fish at all. Let's see. I might have gotten the something arowana tetra. All right, let me Google that one. So the place I bought them from is probably like the best place to buy fish is when it comes to like accurately labeling their fish. I'm pretty confident I got the right one. No, this definitely was not it. Yep. So this has like the straight forehead. Mine weren't like that at all. That's actually a pretty gnarly looking little tetra though. I can see why it's called an arowana tetra. Holy smokes. A nice background tank from Rio. Yes, Rio. We've been using this background for quite a while now. That's totally the best argument ever. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyways. Do your chores. Do good in school. And remind them that there's worse things. Far less educational things. T-Bones Fishes says, is 30 tiger barbs in a 34.5 gallon too many? I would probably say that's definitely on the high side. Tiger barbs, they get for a tiger barb, like once they're at full grown size, they're kind of bigger bodied. They might get a little crowded in there. I've tried keeping apple snails with my goldfish, and every time the snails' shells end up breaking apart. Sounds like you need more calcium. If they turn white before they break apart? Probably calcium. You need some more calcium in there. You can throw in some aragonite, crushed coral, cuttle bone, eggshells. There's all kinds of things you can do, but that's usually the biggest problem when it comes to snails, is not enough calcium. You should show your own tank as your background, not Rio. Why? Rio's looks way better than any tank I own. Far superior. He's way better at aquascaping. I like to show other people's tanks in the background as a way to promote other YouTubers as well. And Rio definitely deserves all the recognition because that dude is super cool. I have shown my own tank in the background though, like years and years ago, but I'd rather, like I said, I'd rather give recognition to other people that deserve it. What size tank is that on your green screen? Looks massive by the driftwood compared to the fish. I think it's only like 37. It's maybe like 40-ish gallons. I want to say 37 or like 47. It's definitely under 50. Definitely under 50. And it looks massive by the driftwood compared to the fish. That's the neat thing about like these people like Rio that do these like amazing aquascapes. Like some of these tanks you see and they look really big and they're like 10 gallons. It's just like they do really good job of creating depth and height and just making things look larger. And like there's just so much going on in this tank right now. I think that's another reason why it looks so big. But look at this mono shrimp right here, like right here. That thing's huge. So if this tank was like 200 gallons, that a mono shrimp wouldn't be that big. 60p, does that mean 60 gallon? I'm not familiar with these rimless tanks. Colin Hines, welcome to the Steenfott Dream Team. I'm gonna say, I gotta say it. I'm now only 4 members away from 150. I don't know what I'm gonna do at 150, but I'm gonna do something because that's a pretty big milestone. I feel like 60p is 20 gallons. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, that just proves my point though. Like this tank looks way bigger than 20 gallons. Way bigger. I want to do one of my Planet on Buna tanks, but it always has breeder boxes across the front. Oh man, I remember those breeder boxes when I kept African cichlids. And talk about a great community fish. We didn't even talk about African cichlids. There's hundreds, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, they're so aggressive," but I don't think so. Like, I mean, obviously, they try to establish dominance. There's hierarchies, things like that. But as far as like aggression, I don't think that there's very many that are just straight up like murderers. I mean, like there's like the Malawi eye biter, which I don't know why anyone would ever in a million years ever want to add a Malawi eye biter. It is. I see some people on YouTube that have these beautiful African cichlids, and they're like, yeah, Malawi eye biter. It's like, first of all, it's an ugly fish. Second of all, it's going to go rip the eyeballs off of your other fish. I mean, it is called an eye biter because it eats eyeballs. So you have this tank of beautiful fish. You add an ugly fish that's going to make your beautiful fish ugly. I don't get it. I don't get it. Joe Williams, welcome, my friend. Welcome. I really do appreciate it. Is that Rio? You see, like everybody knows who Rio is. That's super awesome. I remember when Rio was just starting out his channel, and I think 60p means 60 centimeters. Okay, well at least I guess that makes sense. An eye biter, that sounds awesome. But anyways, I remember when Rio was really small and just starting out on YouTube, and you knew that it's just one of those people that you knew were going to do really well. I mean, it's in the name. Yes. Yes. Matt says, will you be doing any future updates on your tank setups in your new series? I'd like to see how that Episto tank does, assuming you're keeping it set up like that. Yep. So in the video, when did I film that? I don't even know. But I was talking about how the wood is going to get covered in that like white slimy algae. It is now covered in that white slimy algae, just like I predicted. So I will be adding probably a bristlenose pleco in there. I have some short fin green bristlenose that I'll probably throw in there to take care of that. And then once it's gone, I'll probably take the pleco back out because I don't want the epistos going after it. Or I don't want the pleco going after the episto eggs when they spawn. But I do need to keep it in there while that wood goes through that fungus phase. But yeah, so you'll be seeing like all these tanks that I'm going to be setting up. You'll see at the end when we do like a big fish room tour, probably hopefully on like the aquarium co-op channel, we'll have like a big reveal. I'm finishing up the stands this weekend for my wall of 40 breeders that I've been working on forever. But finally, I've rebuilt it twice already because I didn't like how it turned out, which is one of the reasons it's taking a bit longer, but we'll see. 150K, get a fish tattoo. I would get a fish tattoo right now if I could afford it. Tattoos are insanely expensive. I have no issues getting tattoos at all. Mr. Ed's Aquatics says, Predator haps are a whole different kind of community, like one filled with serial killers. Yeah, I don't know that I would... Okay, so I guess I should specify a little bit on African cichlids, not haps. Haps, a lot of haps are definitely just straight up murderers. I mean, that's certainly the case. But like peacock cichlids or Coppodochromis, there's lots of embunas that are actually not that aggressive at all. Especially when you get enough of them in one tank, it's usually not an issue. Have you ever grown a subswasser tang? Any tips? Yes. I actually hate subswasser tang. I know, I feel like everybody loves that plant, but I hate it. And the reason I hate it is because once you want to get rid of it, it's really hard to get rid of. It's like duckweed. Like once it's in your tank, as long as there's like a little leaf somewhere, it's always coming back. And it does look good. It is a cool looking plant, but you know, at some point, sometimes you just want to change things up. But I haven't found it to be very difficult. You know, I have it, let's see. So I currently have it in 2 tanks. One is very low light, and it grows very, very slowly. One I would say is pretty medium light. And then I also fertilize that one and it grows no problems at all. So it doesn't take much. I would say if you're not fertilizing, then just fertilize it. Fertilize it. 161 likes and only 400 watching. Can we get the likes up, please? Yes, don't forget to like. I also forgot to ask you guys to share this out. We still got over an hour to go, so if you don't mind, if you got somewhere to share it out, that would be excellent. Get some more people in here for some more fish fun. Fun fish. What is Rio's channel called? It's Rio Watanabe. And that's not how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it. And he says he's okay with it because I like to say it that way. Let's see. Who got timed out here and for what? Jacob says, are Honduran red points like Convict? So there are a lot of Honduran red points being sold that are actually convicts. They are a different fish. I have a true Honduran red point in my 250 gallon. I used to have a pair. I've bred them, spawned them multiple times. Super friendly fish. They will protect their spawn, but they won't go out of their way to kill, right? So as long as like they'll do a good job of keeping fish away from their spawn, just by, you know, not like anything aggressive. I mean, obviously it's aggressive because it gets the other fish away, but they're not like attacking things and killing things when they spawn. So really cool fish. If you can find a true Honduran red point, they're way more peaceful than a convict cichlid. Oh, is Flynn here? Look at that. Flynn's Fish Forum. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. You kill duckweed and can't keep it? It seems like a good problem. Seems like a good problem. Canadian says, what Apisto species for the Apisto tanks? Right now it is Apistogramma cockatoides, triple red. There's some quadruple reds in there. And so far, knock on wood, 0 double reds. So we got some really good fish here. There's some that have like some fin issues, but that's not going to be, it's not genetic. So, you know, the fry will be all right, and they'll still have all the color. So I'm not too worried about that at all. Why don't they sell crayfish in Washington stores? Corey touched on it in a stream before. So they're illegal here, but somehow the big chain stores like Petco sells them. And I think they get around it by selling them as lobsters and not crayfish. I don't know. There's got to be some loophole somewhere, because my Petco always has blue crayfish, except they call them blue lobsters, and they're not lobsters. Can subsaucer tank be hindered by too much light? Mine sits under Fluval 3.0, no shade. I have not found that to be a case. I had a piece of wood that went all the way up and actually like touched the top of the tank, and like the subsaucer tank like formed all the way around it under the light, and there was like this mat, and it started growing on the underside of the top even. So I would say no. I would say no. And that was on, I believe, a Fluval 2.0. I believe. It might be a 3.0. Either way, it doesn't matter. It was a Fluval either way. Bare Bottoms Aquarium says, oh, there you go. Some mom and pop stores will sell crayfish here by selling them as lobsters. There you go. There you go. Star-Lord. Bob, what would you recommend to keep with a school of 15 Danios and a 40? Why not a school of Corridoras? You got anything on the bottom there? That would be pretty awesome. Are blue-eye rainbows easy to breed? I would say no, but I would also say yes at the same time. They're not like guppies. They're not like convicts. They're not like cribenzes. They're not that easy. I mean, they are really small. The fry are really small. You got to be prepared for it. But if you research spawning them, then yes, they're one of the easier pseudomagills to breed. Fish and Plant says, I just shared the stream. All right. You get a sticker. I don't know. Nothing. I don't know. I do appreciate it, though. I really do appreciate it. If there is a way to reward people to share, I absolutely would. It's one of the best things you can do. Like, likes are good, but shares are infinitely better. Just got my ZH2000. I don't even know what that is. Aqua balls. Same issue in PA. Crayfish are illegal, but they are sold in some stores as lobsters. They are not lobsters. Boy, talk about a time right now when you could get away with doing just about anything. I mean, there's like trying to get anything done with the government right now is so hard. I can't imagine that they're actually actively out like looking to get people in trouble. I don't even know why I brought that up, but I feel like if you wanted to bring in some fish that you normally shouldn't be keeping, probably not a lot of people out there right now to stop you. Everyone's working from home. You know, everything's closed down. You know, just saying. Just saying. All right, what would your centerpiece be in a 55-gallon with mollies and flagfish? Joe Williams, I'm not like a center fish person. I prefer large schools of fish over like a centerpiece fish. That being said, what else you got in there? Mollies and flagfish. Yeah, see, I don't know. In a 55-gallon like that, a 4-foot tank with just like a nice group of like 20 schooling fish, I think would be way cooler than like one centerpiece fish. But yeah. How do you feel about rainbow fish, Bob? I feel fantastic. Fantastic. So community aquariums are by far the most popular aquariums in the world, right? I mean, there's no denying that. When I look at these fish tanks that have like one giant Central American cichlid, and it just sits there in a 300-gallon tank, and it just sits there. And I think, like, well, what's more exciting? One big fish that just sits there, and yeah, it'll move like 6 inches towards the front of the glass when you walk up to it. Okay, really cool. Or would like a 300-gallon tank with like 100 schooling fish schooling back and forth nonstop all day, every day be cooler? I don't know why I just went on that rant, but I did. So, oh yeah, centerpiece fish. Not big on centerpiece fish. Bare Bottoms Aquarium says Aquatic Arts ships crayfish to Washington. Don't ask. See, now that I would be very careful about. Like, if I owned a business, I mean, yeah, you put disclaimers on your website. Like, you're responsible for knowing what is legal in your state. But I feel like ultimately, like, I could get in trouble for shipping, like, snakeheads to a state where snakeheads are illegal, which they're illegal in my state. So I definitely get in trouble for having them in the first place. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe they don't have like a. Maybe I'm definitely extra paranoid just because I'm on YouTube. All my tanks are on YouTube, and if somebody saw me having something I shouldn't have, like, my YouTube would get shut down. And I feel like if somebody like got a hair up their butt and wanted to stick it to Aquatic Arts, like, I feel like something bad could happen. Maybe a fine. I don't know. But I'm always like very careful about shipping fish to places, and I usually won't even bring in anything that's even somewhat controversial. Like, if there's some gray area, I'm still not going to bring it in. Anyways, the only centerpiece fish I like are bettas. I mean, there's definitely like really colorful fish like jewel cichlids, but again, not community safe in my opinion. But man, it's not something that I research very often, so I'm gonna be like the worst person to ask. Simply SSS with the $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Also a member, super awesome. The only centerpiece fish I like are bettas. Yep. Snakeheads are banned nationwide. Are they? I feel like I didn't know that, but it was just an example anyways. Like crayfish. Like if I lived in Florida and shipped crayfish to Washington, I feel like that's kind of on me. Like, I should know that. Like Seagrass Farms. Like, there's certain fish, as soon as I log onto their website, it'll say like restricted. Like, I cannot order that fish. Like, that's smart of them. They know what's illegal in every state. I have neon tetras and white raised patches and bumps on their lips and fins, and they have been in salt bath 1 tablespoon per 5 gallons for 3 to 4 weeks. No change. What should I do now? I would probably hit them up with some Paracleanse. Definitely. Thanks. We'll try to catch the next one. Have a good night, everyone. Canadian A, thanks for stopping by. A. Snakeheads are cool. If I could have them where I live, I would. I would only own dwarf snakeheads because I don't think I could ever afford a tank large enough. Oh man, I'm trying to hold back like a burp. Whew. Sorry about that. A lot of things that are banned here are already found in the wild. That's true too. HC Aqua. Like, I was talking to Jimmy about snakeheads, and he was like, you can just go get them out of the water in Pennsylvania. So, yeah. Too late. Too late. And then there's like, I don't know. I feel like I rant about the bans way too often, so I'm not even going to start right now. Can't you just catch your own crayfish? Every stream in New York has them. Yeah, there are crayfish here, but like, I want the self-cloning crayfish. Like, I have puffers. I need the self-cloning crayfish so bad, but it's illegal here, so I could never keep one. Because, if I brought it, like, I could get them. Like, there's people that have offered to send them to me, but the minute, like, a marbled crayfish shows up in the reflection of some random YouTube video, some random B-roll, like someone sees in the reflection, ooh, look at that, they're gonna be like, oh, Screw Bob, I'm going to get him now. And then my whole operation is shut down. Aqua Discovery, Bobby, I do have a Seagrass account, yeah. Are gouramis bad for your aquarium community because my dwarf gouramis attacked each other? So I got gouramis for the very first time about a month ago. So far from a gourami expert. So far I got 12, and so far they're all getting along great. I got the dwarf honey gouramis, and they're doing good. I got males and females, no issues. They're just actually out of quarantine, so I haven't had them for very long at all. But so I'm learning right now about gouramis. Now you have an exotic import license. Not if you have an exotic import license. What? Are African snakeheads? They're all banned in Washington State. I can't say on the federal level or on other states. I only know my state. You are smart to be careful, Bob. Yeah, I know. I know somebody like a few miles away from me that has them. And every time they're like, hey, just take a couple. I'm like, no, it's not worth risking it. I can buy, luckily I can buy clams at wholesale. So I do have that going for me. So having a Mabu puffer is not crazy expensive, but it's still fairly expensive to feed one. EJ Fishes 76. What's up, buddy? Welcome to the Steenfott Dream Team. Man, I feel like you have been around forever. I could be thinking of someone else, but I'm pretty sure you've been around forever. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go to your YouTube channel right now. Sometimes I wish I still had a memory, but sadly I have no memory at all. Hey, we got over 400 people here. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, your one video from 2 years ago. I actually remember this. I remember that video. Anyways, welcome. I appreciate it. I really do. I've had them. Wait, BM3 Aquatics says I've had them since I was a kid. It's hit or miss. The blue gouramis and other color variations can really harass each other. Yeah, so I actually want to try to breed them. So I've got a lot of learning to do. A lot of learning. Fortunately, I'm also kind of in school right now, so I've got a lot of other learning that's taking priority. So hopefully they don't harass each other. I've seen no type of aggression. And when I have time to actually research how to spawn them, I'll be able to actually make that happen. Want a super busy tank besides community? Go with African cichlids. Get Pictus catfish. If you want, super busy, Pictus catfish. That's the way to go. It doesn't get much busier than those. I kind of want to do it now. Every time I say it, every time I've mentioned that fish, I've kind of like thought about doing it. I'm kind of talking myself into getting a species only tank with Pictus catfish. Man, that would be so cool. Man, what I would need it would need to be like 75 gallons because they do get like 8 to 10 inches. They do get pretty big. I do have a 90-gallon tank I'm not using for anything right now, except for trash. Yeah. I wonder if I can buy those. I'll have to think about it. No impulse buying. No impulse buying. Hello, host. Hello. Good morning. Bring on the spam. I can already see it. Corys are great. No problems with those at all. What do you think about mantis shrimp? They kind of give me nightmares. I think they're pretty cool. If you catch crayfish in PA for use as bait only, all snakeheads are banned in the U.S. There you go. I think it started with northern snakehead being found in waterways in the East Coast. When it comes to fish being banned, I just blame Florida for everything. Florida is definitely the problem child for sure. I would love some Geophagus cichlids. How big do they get? Spelling is wrong. Yep. Definitely, you're way off, but you're close enough that we can figure it out, and that's all that matters, Robert. It depends on the species. It really does. There's many different species. They get many different sizes, but I don't think there's a single species that I would keep in something smaller than a 75. So if you have a 75 or larger, you're pretty much okay. You're pretty much good to go. 90-gallon Pictus, and 2 red-tail sharks. Spam is good. Ugh. Jacob Hill says, hey, Bob, have you ever tried saltwater? Yes, I still have a lot of my old saltwater supplies that I'll be using. Actually, no, I don't. The only thing I have left is the bag of salt. And luckily, I kept that because I'm going to be trying brine shrimp for the very first time. And super excited. I've always stayed away from brine shrimp because I never wanted to mess with the DIY pop bottle. None of that nonsense. So now that I actually got a kit, I'm going to go ahead and try it. And hopefully it's as easy as everyone says. As long as it can even be difficult. As long as it's not a pain in the butt. As long as I don't have to dedicate a lot of time to it. Because honestly, is there anything easier than vinegar eels? I mean, really. So it has to be like pretty close to vinegar eel level of easiness for me to do brine shrimp. So we'll see. I'm going to try it. Florida is the problem child for any problems in the country. I live there, so I can attest to that. Celine, all right. That's probably true, but we're just gonna keep it to animals right now. Hey, Steven the Truth Seeker, you're out and about. You're not you're not in hiding. I don't know. I haven't seen you forever. What's up, buddy? How many celestial pearl Danios in a 90-gallon community tank? Oh, you could have dozens. 90-gallon is huge. Celestial pearl Danios are small. I mean, you could do 20, 30, 40. Really, it's up to you. The brine shrimp hatcher is pretty easy. We'll see. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on it. I'm going to try it out. And as far as like the actual growing of the brine shrimp, though, it does look pretty easy, though. I'm pretty excited to try it. I'm getting a 110-gallon corner tank, says Whitney. Is it possible to have just sponge filters going? Absolutely. Or should I have another filter system going on the same time? Absolutely. You can have sponge filters. Almost all of my tanks. When I set up my 300-gallon, it's going to be only sponge filters. So it's going to be an interesting experiment. It does require a bit more maintenance. Like you don't have... So sponge filters, some of them are actually pretty good at removing just junk that's in the water. So you do have to clean them every once in a while. But I would say it's definitely not, they're definitely not as good as removing just, you know, all the crap in the water as like a canister or a hang on back filter. So you do have to maybe gravel vac a little more, or, you know, just kind of keep up with maintenance a little bit more on a with a sponge filter. But if you have a healthy tank, if it's planted, you don't have to gravel vac at all. Sponge filtration would be just fine, like more than fine. Holy crap, it's Loop Noop Hoopy Oops. Now that has been a while since I have seen that name. Loop Noop Hoopy Oops with the $2 super chat. Thank you, I appreciate it. Paul says, BBS are a piece of cake. All my fish, even the big discs, go to town on them. Yeah, and even as a kid, like in science class, I never did the what do they call them? Like, I don't even know. But I never did that project in science class and grow like your own little monkeys or sea monkeys. Is that what they call them? Never did it. I've never done it. It's just like, I mean, vinegar eels, it's like set it and forget it. You don't have to do anything. It's crazy easy. Although I did kill my colony a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, pretty sad about that. I don't know why, but I'm old school, hang on back filter kind of guy. I'm looking at the new Penguin Pros. Hey, as long as it works for you, that's all that matters, right? There's always these debates on what better, and I've dedicated an entire live stream to what's better. Canister, sponge, hang on back, whatever works for you. Like, I use them all. Sumps. I don't use canister filters. I actually hate canister filters a lot. A lot. Not a canister filter person at all. I feel like if I'm going to go through the trouble of getting a canister filter, I'm just going to use a sump because they're way easier to maintain. I mean, cleaning a sump takes like 5 seconds. Cleaning a canister filter is just a pain. I don't care what anyone says. It's a pain comparatively. Thanks, Bob. Love the streams. I've learned so much from you, Corey, Lucas, Bretts. Thank you, Robert Banks. I appreciate it. Those dudes are definitely way more knowledgeable than I am, but you know what? We all have our place. I know, but it was supposed to be an alternative to DIY. Thanks. Oh, the hatchery stand sticking sucks. Yeah, that's what everyone says. The stand sucks. So we'll see. We'll see. I didn't plan on using the stand anyway, so I don't think that's gonna affect me. It should be all right. It should be all right. My nitrates and nitrites super high for 2 weeks. Fish seem happier than ever. Thoughts? You might have a bad test kit. If you have high nitrates, granted, nitrites really not nearly as harmful as ammonia. So you could have high nitrates, and you know what? If you have hardy fish, probably not an issue. Nitrates, even less poisonous to fish. So you know what? You might have lost your cycle. It might be going through a cycle again, and you just have really hardy fish. So yeah, as long as the ammonia is not high, the ammonia is definitely the killer for sure. Are vinegar eels good for guppies? Yes, or is it too small food for the adults? I mean, they'll eat them, but it's like luck. Like we're swimming around. Oh, it's like when I stick my head out the window and you get like a fly in your mouth. That's what it would be like for the guppies. Bob, did those turtle eggs from Corey hatch? I have no idea. I saw the picture of them going into the microwave, but I don't know. I don't know why I'm like drawing a blank. Incubator. That's what I'm trying to say. Not microwave. Incubator. But I don't know if they hatch. I haven't been paying attention. Imagine the future when people own blobfish. That would be the craziest sight to see. Oh man, blobfish. There's so many cool, like just weird, wacky fish out there. That would be cool stream to do. I'm gonna write that down. Next week, wacky blobfish, weird fish stream. That's what we're gonna do next week. Thank you. I always have issues finding topics, but this helps. I think that could be a lot of fun. Blobfish, blobfish. Can we Google it? If you haven't seen the blobfish, you should Google it. Maybe I'll show it to you right now. Yeah. Okay. Whoops. That would have been bad. Wrong one. Here we go. Okay. Blobfish. And we'll go here. There you go. Look at that thing. I mean, kind of a blobfish. There's some resemblance there, right? Maybe. I mean, I got eyeballs and a weird nose and a frowny face. I don't know. But yeah, this thing is pretty just. This is what nightmares are made from. Not even like there's some scary looking fish, but this is truly a fish that would give you nightmares. Like those scary, gnarly looking fish with like 10-inch fangs. No, this right here. This is what nightmares are made out of. My Oscar hates the microwave. That's good. I think, well, we all probably would. Blobfish looks like a fetus crossed with an old man. All right. Now things are just getting weird. My dog's chewing on something. I hope you guys can't hear that. Destroying another ball. Have I heard of Father Fish here on YouTube? Who has not heard of Father Fish on YouTube? He is the father of fish, so I've heard. What an ugly looking fish. It's like one of those, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that. I got to get this off my screen though. I'm going to hit the back button and go back to the diamond tetra. I'd much rather have that up on my screen. Question. Assassin snails with near-eye snails in one aquarium. Many say that it's obviously stupid, but then I know many people who actually know what they are talking about and had success with it. So the people that know what they're doing and have had success with it, Do they show you pictures? Do they show you videos? Like, obviously it can be done. If you put assassin snails with nearite snails in a 5-gallon tank, probably not going to end up good for the nearites. If you put both of them in like a 75 or a 90, the chances are both of them are going to live just fine together. I mean, obviously the assassin's going to pick some off here and there, but realistically, in a larger aquarium like that, probably going to be okay. Joe says, I've seen videos of them taking down mysteries. Yeah, I think it just depends on room and numbers. Nearites probably... Okay, so I probably wouldn't do them with nearites just because nearites are going to reproduce. Whereas, like, you probably could do it with mystery fish or mystery snails because they're going to spawn in your tank. If your tank is large enough. Just saying. Hey, there's the man of the hour right there. Everybody has been talking about your tank all stream. Just like every stream for the last month. There he is. All right. Father Fish doesn't like my handle. I don't see what's wrong with it. People have bare bottom aquariums all the time. I mean, he does like... He actually... I don't know. He does like the really thick substrates. The deep substrates, just like me, but I feel like he takes it to the next level. For sure. But you shouldn't like dislike. I know you're probably joking anyways, but I literally have a 90 gallon, so I guess I'm good. Thanks. I guess as long as I don't starve the assassins, I'm good. I mean, if anything, the assassin snail is gonna have a pretty expensive. Nearite snails aren't expensive, but compared to like pond snails, obviously. I wouldn't be afraid to try it myself in a 90 gallon. But I would probably rather have a snail that can actually reproduce in the aquarium. But because you see these tanks that have like 1 billion pond snails and assassin snails, and they still can't kill enough pond snails to actually get rid of them. How bad are Malaysian trumpet snails? They're so bad, they're awesome. Malaysian trumpet snails are by far, there is not even a close second. They are by far my favorite snails. Really, really cool snail. They do a lot of good for planet tanks. Yeah, by far my favorite, by far. Especially at night. Like, for the most part, you might see, like, during the day, you might see one, like, here or there. But there's really, like, 2,000 of them in your tank, and you don't even know it. But then you go up at night when they climb up the glass, and, like, they're just everywhere. I don't know. I love them. I think they're really cool. Like I said, by far my favorite. Maybe he likes your bare bottom. Furlough's Aquatics says that this brine shrimp hatchery from the co-op is amazing. That is the one I'm going to try. I probably won't make a video on it because there's been 9 billion videos of that made in the last couple weeks. But that is the one I'm going to try out, and I'll definitely let you guys know my experience. Maybe on like a live stream or something. Paul says, get your dog moose antlers. My Connie Corso has gone through 3 in the last 7 years. Yeah, I mean, I have those as well. Probably not moose. I think they're elk. I don't know. But he loves balls. So I can't not buy them. I mean, it's like the softball size one. I mean, they're like $4. Like, you know, it takes him, he'll probably tear it up in like every 2 months. So, you know, $4 every couple months to keep him happy. Not a problem. BJ Palmer says, I don't like it when they get behind me, though. I don't like it when you're behind me. You can sit in front of me. You can sit beside me. But they don't learn. Like, they sit, but they lay behind me, and then I back up my chair and, like, roll over their tail or their paw. And, like, they just don't learn. You don't learn. So don't sit behind me. You're going to get run over, buddy. You're going to get run over. Yeah, I don't want to talk about football because I hate football. But how is Larry Fitzgerald still playing football? Yeah, he's like 100. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about football. Someone said hi, Jessica. Hello, Jessica. Hey Candy, hope you're well. Hope you're well. Bob, can we have close-up videos of your fish, please? Almost all my videos have some sort of close-up. My last video did, anyways. So that's got to mean most of them. I always try to bust out the macro lens and for some good B-roll. So I'll never have like an entire video of all macro shots, but I definitely sneak them in there every once in a while. Do you recommend Kong toys? I think they're very expensive, and I buy the Kong balls, and he destroys them. Absolutely just destroys them. For your pups, the next ball. Thank you, Black Label, for the $5 super chat. And EJ Fishes 76 dog toy fund. Yeah. So, yeah, both his Kong toys are sitting right there. I wonder if I can steal them away from him. I'll show them to you. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, no, only one of them. This is a good time to use this. I haven't used this in a while. Get ready to jam out. Durable, they're the best, and they're pretty good. That's what we use at the shelter that I volunteer at. Let's come back. Hey, great. Now I got them all riled up, but it's holding together. I mean, it's green, which kind of is unfortunate, but you can see here, like, obviously all the green part's gone, but the inside is obviously, oh, probably shouldn't have done that. Go get it. But this one, the ball, like this is the Kong ball. Yeah, it's pretty much a goner, but he still loves it. He still loves it. He still plays with it, and I think we got a few more weeks with this one, and then it's time for a new one. I love this dog. Yeah. Don't knock that over. Dang it. Oh well. Now stay away from me. Not the time. 45 more minutes, buddy. Jacob says, bye, I gotta go. By the way, I just got into the hobby a couple months ago, and you're my favorite channel. Woohoo! You and Corey have really helped me learn how to keep my aquarium. I already want more. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Jacob Hill. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it. Is it cloaked? Yeah. Yeah, I have to hide them from the dog just to make them last longer. I also have green skizzers. All right, that's pretty neat. Green skizzers. What else do I have that's green? Oh, Bug Bites is green. Oh, my live fish stickers for when I ship are green. Can't see those at all. I think that's about all the green I got around me. Looks like something else since we can only see part of it. Yeah. My dog is now looking everywhere for the squeaky toy. Yeah, luckily he's not very like motivated by the squeak, thankfully. My husky definitely was. We have a solid rubber Kong ball that is red and holds up very well. Yeah, the solid ones do work great. Like I said, those are the ones that we use at the kennel I volunteer at. Rainbow fish stocking idea for 60-gallon 4-footer. That must be the Marine Land. Running an AquaClear 110. Ooh, that's a lot of filtration for that. Nice. A lot of flow. Rainbow fish are going to love that. Honestly, you could do just about anything in that tank. When it comes to rainbow fish, I advise people to... Usually my question is, what's your favorite color? Once we figure out your favorite color, we can find the appropriate rainbow fish for that color. Really easy. I'm hoping... So, yeah. So Anna, what's your favorite color? I'll point you in the right direction. Or a rainbow of rainbows. You can get... So you don't have to get all of the same. You can mix them. They will school with other varieties of rainbows. So, yeah. Oh, man. Aliska says, my dog wanted to add to the ball fund too. He enjoys pups with the $5 super chat. Thank you. Yeah, when the studio is done, hopefully very, very soon, I'm going to have chairs in... I'm not going to have the green screen anymore. I'm going to have like a love seat or something in the back so we can actually see the dogs and give them a place to sit. Since they love being behind me, I'm going to give them a love seat, and they can sit in that behind me. So hopefully within the next, maybe month. I don't know. Wear a green shirt and become one with the fish tank. I used to do that. I used to have all kinds of fun way back in the day when there'd be like 20 people here. We used to goof off for like 5 hours on the stream and do all kinds of goofy stuff with the green screens. And I have green sheets that I used to wear, and like just my head would be poking out, and then I would like float around. I don't know. It was a weird time, man. That was like the beginning of live streaming on YouTube when YouTube first added that feature. Those were weird days back then. Weird days. Kongs last 5 minutes with our dogs. Yeah, I've definitely found like there's different quality Kongs, but they tend to be more durable than any other brand. Any chance for a live audience? This Steenfott Aquatics live stream is filmed in front of a live virtual audience. That would be cool. I don't know. We would probably have to do like an aquatic experience or an Aquashella thing to have like a live audience, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't have any plans on going to Aquashella, and the aquatic experience may never happen again. So yeah, I'd say the chances of that are pretty low. It would be a lot of fun though. It would be a lot of fun, even if it was just like, I don't know, 10 people, dozen people. I don't know. Danny says, I recently got threadfin rainbows for my 20 long. I definitely enjoy them. Very underutilized fish. In my last video that came out yesterday, if you haven't watched it, you should watch it because it's pretty awesome. I put in pencil fish, and somebody asked why I didn't use rainbows. And they asked why threadfin rainbows would have been perfect. I generally stay away from threadfin rainbows with dwarf cichlids because I don't want their thread fins damaged. And when a pistol starts spawning, they can be kind of nippy and aggressive. So that's why I did not put threadfin rainbows. And the same thing with like pseudomagills. They also get longer finnage fins. And I just didn't want them nipped. And pseudomagills are definitely small. If a pistol goes after a pseudomagill, they're not gonna have a good time. Priscilla with the $10 super chat says, for good old times sake, the weird days. We're pretty close. I actually haven't checked my subscribers in a while, but we're getting pretty close to 50,000, and then it's time. You could do it at a club meeting. There are no club meetings right now. All the club meetings are virtuals, and also our club decides to meet late on a Tuesday, so not the best time either. Knight Rider says threadfins are rainbow are rainbow. Yes, they are rainbow. That's not what he said. Says threadfins are amazing but delicate. Yeah, they don't. I wouldn't call them delicate. They hold up pretty well, but they are very prone to fin nipping because they have thread fins. They're really long fins. Can I have dwarf neon blue gourami with cherry barbs? Yes, cherry barbs are great community fish, and because they're a barb, they're a little bit more boisterous. They can hold up to abuse a little bit better. I really like cherry barbs, and they get a lot bigger than people think. Like when you see them at Petco or PetSmart, they're just usually tiny little guys, but they actually get pretty good size, and they get pretty thick too if you're keeping them fed. Well, yeah, I meant when they start again. Yeah, Joe. I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with my local club, so I don't know. Like I've never Zoom audience. I'll never do Zoom. Ugh. Yeah. Anyways, I've never done any type of like filming or anything at the club, and most people there don't even know who I am, so it'd be kind of weird. Would a pistos mix well with albino cories and angels? Yes, Kenny, absolutely. A pistos mix well with just about any community fish. Aquarium co-op almost to 500. Remember, that's not in real time, so he might be at 500,000 right now. We don't know. You love my cherry barbs? I do. I've never seen your cherry barbs, but I'm just going to say I love them because I love all cherry barbs. How to soft water naturally? I'm guessing you're asking how to make your water softer naturally. Well, you can lower the pH simply by adding wood, but if you actually want like less mineral content, you'd probably have to go like RODI. I definitely would never use products like pH up, pH down, any type of chemicals. Super bad. Really terrible for your fish. Bob, I thought mystery snails couldn't reproduce by themselves because I found what looks like 3 tiny baby snails in my 10-gallon betta tanks. So mystery snails, you'll know because they have like the most hideous alien-looking clutches. They'll just leave on the top of your tank out of water. If you have other snails, you might have gotten pond snails somewhere or bladder snails somewhere. They might not be mystery snails. You'll know when mystery snails lay their clutch of eggs. They always lay them out of the water. I would say they kind of look like a golf ball, like the clutch, but instead of like the dimples going in, the dimples would be coming out because they're egg shaped. They're little eggs, right? Holy smokes. But yeah, think of like cutting a golf ball in half and sticking it on the outside of your tank, and that would be like a mystery snail clutch. And yeah, you would have way more than 3, and it would be really obvious when it happens because it looks pretty weird. It's definitely alien-ish. Is adding chemicals considered naturally because chemicals are all around us? I guess there could be an argument for that. Generally speaking, in the hobby, it's not considered, but I guess it would depend on which chemicals. Kenny says, a Pistos it is. I was going to go with rams, but I never had luck, even with Bolivian. Yeah, there's some really bad Bolivian rams out there, but a Pistos, the nice thing about a Pistos is that, I mean, there are some that are farm bred, but a lot of them are hobbyist bred, especially if you're going to like a local fish store, so you probably have better luck. Aqua Discovery says, I get asked where I get my clown killie a lot. Did you say I breed them, silly? I like to look at the expiration date of pH up in the fish stores. It's always like a month away. I've heard so many horror stories about pH up and pH down. It's ridiculous. Where you gone, Lisa? What? Any ideas for a 2.5 gallon fish? 2.5 gallon fish tank. It's so small, so small. Maybe like the smallest of smallest rasboras, strawberry rasboras. You know, I was thinking about doing like a top 5 fish for 2.5 gallon tank, because I stole Jimmy's 2.5 gallon tank, so I have one. And I'm just thinking, like, what would I even put in here that I would actually enjoy? And the only thing I can think of is, like, shrimp. So, yeah, 2.5 gallons. I don't know. I might throw in, I do have a lot of strawberry rasboras. I might throw a couple in there. And maybe I'll be surprised. But it's just so small. So small. Even 5 gallons are really small. What's the minimum tank size to keep African cichlids? It really depends on which one. Some African cichlids are only 1.5 inches. Some are 20 inches. Like the, what's the emperor cichlid in Lake Tanganyika? Like the biggest cichlid? Is that what is that it? Emperor cichlid, Lake Tanganyika? I feel like that's it. Lisa says, sorry, the live disappeared. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm still live. Yep. Looking good. Looking good. Just refreshing. Whew. All right, 30 minutes. Got 30 minutes to get to. It's how the mysteriously... Wait, what? It's how they mysteriously fill up your canister filter? I think I'm missing something there. Bob, do you know how many different species of rainbows exist, whether in the hobby or in the wild? Well, I don't think anyone actually knows. Obviously, I mean, they all haven't been collected yet. But there's easily over 100. Easily. What is your favorite cereal? Whew. I love Frosted Flakes. I love Captain Crunch Berries. I love anything chocolate, Cocoa Krispies, Cocoa Pebbles. I love Life cereal. I mean, really, they're all just big boxes of sugar, so they all taste good. I don't eat cereal, but man, there wasn't too long ago when I ate cereal like every single day. I love cereal, but I don't eat it anymore. Good question. Rio, holy smokes. Look at that. We got a celebrity becoming a member. That is super awesome. Thank you, my friend. I really do appreciate it. I know you're definitely one for nature, so you should check out last week's video with Jimmy and I. He did a really good job on it. For how long do you leave fry in the tank when a pisto spawn? Are pencilfish a threat to eating the fry, or they generally stay away from the fry with the parents protecting them? So, Matt, it's going to really depend on how good they parent the fry. After they spawn, I'm definitely going to have to watch the male and make sure that she doesn't beat them up. And then I'm going to have to watch the pencilfish. But I don't know. I have spawned McMaster in a community tank, and they were really good parents. I didn't have any issues. Previously, I've only spawned cockatoides in like breeding tanks, so I specifically set up the tank just for them. You know, it was like one plant, one cave, and that was it. So we'll see. But if it is a problem, if the pencilfish do go after the fry, then I'll have to take them out for sure. The nice thing about being home 24/7 is that you can really keep an eye on things. So, why the Steen Dream Team and not the Fot Heads? Because what is a Fot Head? That doesn't make any sense. Good night, fellow nerds. I'm gonna show you why the Dream Team. Right now. No, I'm not. I lied. I was going to have this ready, but then I forgot. And now you reminded me, so I don't have it ready still. But that's how it goes sometimes. All right, let me bring the stream back up because... hill stream loaches can be fed like any other fish, really? Sure. Yep. Definitely. I like grape nuts sprinkled with little chunks of concrete for that extra crunch. What? I've actually never had that cereal before in my life. Aqua Discovery says, international celebrity. That is true. That is definitely true. International celebrity. Mr. Rio. Why? All right, what else we got going on here? Apple snails move for no mortal. It would be like fighting an oncoming train of assassin snails. Man, I tried apple snails once, and yeah, they never moved. They never moved to the point that I'm pretty sure they starved to death. I don't know. Like, talk about a boring snail. They look really cool, though. But apparently I did not have the right setup for apple snails, because I think I had one that lived for almost a year, but I bought 6, and... yeah, 5 lasted like a month, and that was it. Are Pistogramma Panduro hard to find? Not really. I feel like they're one of the more popular ones, definitely. I'm just very busy with work, 50 hours a week, exhausting. Yeah. Used to be there. Black, I'll make sure to do an unboxing. It's our 30th anniversary this Friday. Ooh. The same day the snails are going to be here. Not sure which one is more exciting. Holy smokes, 30 years? That's amazing. Oh, here we go. Are rummy nose tetras safe with an African butterfly fish? I feel like I'd be pretty confident in trying that combo. I definitely would try it out. Captain Crunch, Frosted Flakes, yum. Yeah, I love Frosted. Don't talk about cereal, because... that's like, whew, that's definitely one of my vices. But it's way too much sugar for me. Way too much. I eat cereal and then I'm up all night, all wound up. Even if I eat it in the morning, I'm still up all night. I have a spawn of triples now. Male drove the female away to the other end of the 20 long. She has half the fry on her end and he has half the fry on his end. Huh. That's interesting. I've never really seen the male do parental care after. That's pretty cool. The McMaster that I spawned, the female did it. The Cockatoides I spawned, the female. Like they always, every time I spawned a Pistos, the females always drove away the male. That doesn't mean that's, I mean, obviously that's not like set in stone. That doesn't mean like it's that way for everyone. Obviously, because it's not that way for you. 50 hours a week. What do you do after Wednesday? If I'm trying to pack on size for rainbows, what temperature should the water be around? Man, I would, if I was doing it, I would probably keep it 80 to 82. I would feed twice a day and probably change water. Well, as often as I could, honestly. I mean, that's how you grow out rainbow fish fast. Multiple daily feedings and lots of water changes. Evan says, "You're the best, Bob. That's twice you've answered my questions." All right, and I wasn't even trying. I'm just randomly reading comments, so sweet. Nice. Honey Bunches of Oats or Rice Krispies with honey graham crackers. I like Rice Krispies. They're pretty good. Just came home from work. Josh's World, what's up, buddy? What kind of fish could you teach to give high fives? I love high fives. Probably that moramid dolphin fish that people like train it to do like tricks. Maybe I bet there's a lot of those big like South American cichlid, like a flower horn could probably do it. Carrie says, "Hello everyone. Hope you're doing well." Hello, hello, hello. Who's the Pisto divorce lawyer? I don't know, but that person's got to be rich because they get divorced after every spawn. Definitely. Carson says, "I have 4 17-gallon ponds outdoors with neocardinia in them for breeding for profit. I live in North Florida. Should I use heaters during the winter or would they still breed without them?" Honestly, I'm not familiar with Florida's winter weather. I've only been there in the summer. But I keep my Neos down to like 60s. So I don't know. I would say if your water is getting lower than like 64, you might want to think about throwing a heater in there just to be safe. Do I like the millennial red rainbows and how large will they get? They'll get about 4 or 5 inches. I mean, some of them really pack on a size. I used to have a monster one. But generally probably about 4, maybe 5 inches. And yeah, I do like them. I do. How many cherry barbs should I put in a 10-gallon? Like 6 or 8. Just found 10 juveniles for $110 on Aquabid. Wait, for what? What are we talking about here? How long can honey gourami live with skin flukes? Man, I'm not the person to ask about diseases. Definitely not my forte. Are active substrates like 88 Amazonian fine with live bears when it buffers pH down so much? It can be done. It definitely can be done. However, you're not really setting yourself up for success. Yeah, I mean you can use 88 substrate and get the pH back up to what you want it to be. So you can do both. Like if you put in crushed coral, it will raise the pH back up. The crushed coral is more powerful than the soil. It's like pressing the gas and the brake at the same time. One of them's going to give. A Pistogramma Panduro 10 for $110. Well, plus shipping, that's probably going to be another $20. That's pretty good. You're going to be right around that $13, $14 a piece, which is pretty average for a Pistos. But if they're like small fry, if they're like just tiny fry, I wouldn't buy them. But if they're like 3/4 inch, 1 inch, I would buy them. What food do you recommend in Canada? I have no idea what you guys can get up there. Bug bites. I'm pretty sure that's where bug bites comes from Canada. So fluval bug bites would be probably my go-to. And not because it's the only one that I know is in Canada. It's actually pretty decent food. Aqua Bob is the best, most chill. All right. Love epistogrammas, Leslie. Yep. Epistogrammas are amazing. Just got 6. Josh's World says, just got 6 sailfin mollies. Any advice? Here in Hawaii, I have a pH of 7.0. Any other advice? Boy. Again, molly, a fish I've never kept in my life. I think you're okay at 7.0. I mean, they're a live bear, so harder water, 8.0 pH probably would be better. But, I mean, I know people breed mollies on my Seattle water. So, if they came from your water, like if you got them locally, I wouldn't worry about it at all. If you had them mailed in, I might buffer the water and then slowly acclimate them down to your 7 pH. It's pronounced fluval. It's pronounced fluval. I got Tropica Aqua Soil and CO2 injection with my guppies. They are super happy. As long as the pH is stable and not getting super low, you're good. Yeah. Definitely. So, I will say, when I do guppies in softer water, I do tend to end up with more deformities, like bent spines, things like that. So, you know, that might just be anecdotal, might just be my experience, but glowfish plus neon tetra equals disco party, y'all. Any advice on Java moss water and light wise? Doesn't need additional nutrition. So Java moss is a very easy, like low light, low demanding plant. It's one of those things like if you fertilize Java fern, it'll grow faster. If you don't, it's not going to die. At least it shouldn't die, but it is going to grow way slower. Okay, food. What else we got going on here? pH is like 5, western north 5 pH. Holy smokes! Wow. It's pronounced fluval. Fluval. You know why it's pronounced fluval? Because that's how I say it. If you got a problem with that, take it up with management. I'll give you their phone number. Are Rumminose tetras as sensitive to tank changes as cardinal tetras? I would say no, but I would say they're up there. I would definitely, if I had like a list of sensitive tetras, those guys would make the list for sure. Definitely. Golden grams and chocolate milk with little cocoa marshmallows. Well, you guys are just all over the cereal tonight. Welcome to the cereal live stream. It depends where you live in the country. Everyone has their own accent. Yeah, I mean, who cares? It's fluval. Every person I've ever heard pronounce it, except Canadians, it's fluval. Not fluval. Fluval. I've never heard anyone call it fluval before, ever. Hey, Vince, Pine Tree Looms. Hello, all. Vince here, Pine Tree Looms. What's up, buddy? I haven't seen you in forever. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, Bob, have you spawned any tetras? Not purposely. Only ones that have spawned. Like I had my 40-gallon breeder with lemon tetras. Those things would spawn and I would get fry. But never did I set up like a tank just to breed tetras. I wish I still had my lemon tetras and I would breed them because I want, in my 300-gallon tank, I want to do like 1 to 200 lemon tetras. I want a massive school of lemon tetras. Blessed with 7 pH. Yeah, I got about 6.8 pH out of my tap, which is not terrible, but it is really soft. Like there's no minerals in my water, and that's the terrible part. I mean, I always said it that way until I heard them pronounce it on their Fluval channel. Well, it could just be like just that one dude saying it that way. I don't know. The last Fluval video I watched, they pronounced it Fluval. So, to be fair, I've only watched like one Fluval video in my life. Margaret says, I say fluval like you do. Yeah, Corey says fluval, and that dude is like the #1 fluval retailer in the U.S. So, I mean, there's got to be some weight to that. I can't imagine him calling fluval and saying it wrong and then not correcting it at some point. I don't know. Again, it's like you know, we're kind of getting into that beta thing. Like, does it really matter? We know what you're talking about. Doesn't really matter. I don't think so. They are in a different country. That's definitely gonna make it different. To be fair, I've always been so busy and missed the lives. Pine Tree Looms, being a high school junior comes with a lot of homework. That's why I never did homework, because there was too much of it. I also have a job and play club volleyball. Well, that's super awesome, dude. I was the absolute worst. I never did homework in high school, and then when I got to college, like when I was in college, it was amazing. Because I would just go to the teacher right at the start, professor, whatever, and I'd be like, I'm not gonna do any homework. I'm just not. So we can figure out a way to get me through this class without homework, or I can drop it and not pay you any money. And they always go for the money, you know. Oftentimes when I listen to our southern fish tubers, I hear things like, when I braid fish instead of breed. I know yep. I get corrected a lot. I don't really care. You know, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. Not a big deal. Especially when it comes to like scientific names, when you talk to like the real fish nerds, some of them are like, you're saying it wrong. I'm like, but you clearly know what I'm talking about, right? I don't know. I love the recent camping video. Yes, Ian, I love that video. It was so good. I filmed it and Jimmy edited it, and it was super awesome. And I will say, I'm starting an outdoor channel, and we're going to be doing a lot more of those outdoor videos. Camping, just if rafting ever opens back up, whatever. There's going to be a lot more outdoor content. So, okay. Love Petco substrate. All right. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that before, but hey, why not? I buy my aragonite at Petco because it's always 50% off. Like, it's always on sale. I could go to their website right now, and I guarantee you it's 50% off. Always. Anubis? Yes. There's another one. I hear people call it Anubis or Anubius. Anubus. That's another one. Definitely. Anubius. Lemon tetra are one of my favorites, along with rummy nose. Yes. So I'm doing the 300 gallon. The plan is to be a dirted tank. So it's going to be a huge dirted tank with my boo puffer in a giant school of lemon tetras. And I think it's going to be awesome. Tell us more about your car channel. Well, to be honest, it's kind of on the back burner on my list of priorities right now. My fish channel is like way up here, and all my other channels are like way down here. I have some channels that I used to post to all the time that I haven't posted to in a very long time. So all my other channels are I'm really focusing on my fish channel right now. But the car channel, you know, I upload videos there like once every 2 months. So it is somewhat consistent, just not a lot. The next video being uploaded on the car channel is about my truck. So I think it's gonna be pretty fun if you're into cars. I would say it's gonna be a pretty fun channel. I don't know what just happened to my voice. T-Bones Fishies, what's up, buddy? Hey Bob, is aragonite spelled wrong just as good as crushed coral? It's spelled right. Yeah, I actually prefer aragonite over crushed coral because it's way more consistent. Like the crushed coral, you get like the snails, you get like big chunks, small chunks, and I just find crushed coral to be ugly. Whereas aragonite is like very consistent, all the same size. It actually looks like substrate. So yeah, I'll always prefer, I always prefer aragonite. And there's even black aragonite. It's really hard to find. I don't know where to get it, but it is out there. And once I find it, I want to buy a lot of it. Are you going to do a video on Bigfoot? Yep. That's basically what my outdoor channel is going to be. We're going to be out camping. So the members only video that I uploaded last Thursday was Jimmy and I went camping in a Bigfoot hotspot. The second most sightings in the state is where we went and camped. And it's really a video about camping. I mean, obviously we didn't see Bigfoot or we'd be on the news by now. But, you know, it's just something fun to do. Like, is Bigfoot out there? I mean, does anyone really know? It's just something fun to talk about and do, though. What kind of dirt do you use in your dirted tank? So last time I used Fox Farm Ocean Soil. Now, just because it says ocean oil, that doesn't mean that it's made for fish tanks or saltwater tanks. I think it was Fox Farm Ocean Soil. Let me just double check. Fox Farm Ocean, yeah, Ocean Forest Mix. There it is. Yes, Fox Farm Ocean Forest Mixed Organic Potting Soil. That's what I use in my dirted tanks. By far my favorite soil for anything, whether fish tanks or, you know, house plants, whatever. My LFS has black aragonite. It's pretty awesome. You son of a biscuit. I cannot get black aragonite anywhere. Anywhere. So frustrating. I want it for years. Lapis luster grit size. So on the bag, there's it's either number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, blah 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 blah. It's number 2. Number 2. If you're looking at the bag, it's number 2. Mac Aquatics says, keep up with the good work. Well, thank you, my friend. Kenny says you need beef jerky for Bigfoot. Yeah, but that brand, I do not care for that brand of beef jerky. Star-Lord says, does aragonite substrate change your pH? Yes. Yep, it's definitely a buffering. It does the exact same thing as crushed coral. So it'll give you harder water. It'll raise your pH. It'll introduce all these extra minerals. Really good for me since my hot water is really soft and I like plants. I got black aragonite too. Come to Colorado. Boy, coming to Colorado for black aragonite does not sound like a good idea, especially for how much they charge to bring back stuff on the plane. If I'm bringing back 20-pound bags of crushed coral, those fees are going to add up crazy fast. I'm pretty sure Petco has it. Maybe has it shipped to their store. I can't find it. Maybe I'm just not doing a good job looking. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just haven't tried hard enough. Carrie Heckeborn says, I just butchered your last name. I'm sorry. I was looking at 2 different words at the same time. Thoughts on how to get a green terror to eat? Garlic guard. I have not had good luck with garlic guard at all. Many foods, including live. He has energy, but haven't seen him eat since I got him 2 weeks ago. Treating for internal parasites. Is he getting skinnier? Are there any other fish in the aquarium that he might have possibly picked off? So I've never kept a green terror, so definitely not an expert on them. I think they're a beautiful fish. I used one in my thumbnail a couple weeks ago for the live stream. Including live. I'd be curious what live foods you've tried. You could also try frozen shrimp. I've had really good luck getting fish to eat frozen shrimp, but I've had a lot of failures too. And then like red wigglers, worms, live worms. So I'd be curious to know what live food you've tried. Steenfott Aquatics, do you make your own jerky? So I do have a dehydrator that I use to make my own jerky, but I haven't found a good way to do it cost effectively yet. Like beef jerky is really expensive at the store, but if I go buy like $15 worth of beef, I get less by the time it's all shriveled up than I do if I was just to buy a $15 bag of beef jerky. So I haven't found an efficient way. Like, beef is really expensive in Washington compared to other parts of the country. It's ridiculous. Late, but I made it. Taylor Gibson, hello. Yep, we got a couple more minutes though. Better late than never. Do more fish room tours of yours. I never see Little Steen or any of your other tanks. That's because I'm building, and rebuilding. But it's coming. It's coming. Trust me. Corey's on my ass all the time to finish my fish rooms. So that's definitely a priority. Sorry there, but it's true. Like, it's true. How careful are you with water changes when using something like aragonite to raise pH or almond leaves to lower pH in order to avoid too much change in parameters? I don't do large water changes. The only time I do large water changes is in high-tech planet tanks when I'm doing the EI method. So that's using dry fertilizers. The EI method, for those who don't know, you're basically using dry ferts and you're dosing a massive amount of fertilizers every other day. Well, basically every day, technically. And then you do that for like 6 days. And then on the 7th day, you don't fertilize, but you do a massive water change to get rid of all those, to get rid of all the extra nutrients. So that is the only time I do big water changes. Otherwise, 25% or less, I'm never worried about affecting the pH. Bigfoot hangs out behind my house in the woods in Tennessee all the time. He's my bro. Yeah, I feel like if I met him, like, we'd be buddies too. We'd definitely be buddies. Smoker is better than dehydrator. That's next on the list. I do want a smoker, but probably not till maybe my next birthday. Maybe that's what I'll ask for a birthday present. I don't know. Buy 2 cows and you'll have plenty. So Knight Rider asked me any tips on Daphnia cultures indoor during winter. So I've never done Daphnia ever, but one thing I've done, well, not one thing I've done, but one thing I've seen is that they crash a lot inside. Again, I've done barely any research on Daphnia cultures inside, but it seems like when I do look it up, a lot of them crash a lot, and I don't really go into much detail or research onto why, because I don't plan on doing Daphnia, so just not something I've researched a lot of. That would be a good question for like co-op's live stream, Aquarium Co-op, because I know he's done lots of Daphnia, indoor, outdoor. He's done it, so that'd be a good question for him. What? Anyways, live shrimp and guppies I've tried. He was in with Akara that was very sick. Akara passed early last week. Akara was in really bad shape. Well, he might have caught something. He might have caught something from that Akara then. If he's not going after a live shrimp, that's pretty crazy. Have you tried... Have you ever done a worm farm? I have a worm farm right now, buddy. I wouldn't... Oh, man. Honestly, next time I was at the store, well, I probably wouldn't wait if it's been 2 weeks, but I would try frozen shrimp or maybe like tilapia, if you can find like frozen krill, some type of fish. I had a Daphnia culture for about 36 hours. Yeah, that would probably be my experience too. There's very few live foods that I've done, because once I find something that's like really easy, like vinegar eels or micro worms, all that stuff is like super easy. It's like, why would I want to go through this painstaking process of other stuff when I already have, what I need? And basically the only reason I do live cultures is for fry. So yeah. What's your worst aquarium disaster? I had something run through my fish room, I think like 2 years ago, that killed off like half my fish in my fish room. Multiple tanks. And it was just like things were like just dropping dead very fast. That was a hard one to take, because I lost a lot of fish. Never figured out what it was. Do you think, what are your thoughts on mulm? I love mulm. I am a huge proponent of mulm and algae, all that stuff. Do you think it's beneficial for fry? Why or why not? I don't know that it's beneficial for fry. I've never seen fry eat mulm, like, ever. What is beneficial for, why I love it, is for plants. Plants, I've had some pretty awesome growth with plants in mulm. So that's why I like it. Maybe only really need to adjust water before if the tank is very different for new water, or doing a huge water change, as Bob said, although doing whatever works for you is best. Oh, I must have missed a follow-up question there somewhere. I adjust water before I add it to the tank. Other people, I don't know. Yeah, I don't do that. I go straight from the tap. Straight from the tap. We need one more. One more person is all we need. How many people are here? Ooh, 373, not bad. What was the most? Oh, I don't think it's gonna tell me that yet. Oh well. I had a nice 20-gallon tall South American biotope tank until my light remote fell in and it completely screwed up my water parameters. Did it like fall in and stay in there and you didn't catch it in time? I feel like you have some leeway there, although eventually probably the batteries would cause some issues. My LFS has all the cultures you would want. You get a pound of brine shrimp for $3. I've never seen brine shrimp for sale. I've seen it in like grab bags at Aquarium Co-op like years and years ago, but not on a consistent basis. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of local fish. Actually, I don't have any local fish stores anymore though. So, Josh's World says hit the like. Yes, we're at 269. We just need 200 more. I've seen bristlenose tear into some mulm. I guess it depends on what your definition of mulm is. Like, mulm to me is what's left over. Like, it's very fine particles. It's like dirt, basically. It's pretty inert, but it's like dirt. It fell in while I was on vacation. Oh, yeah, so probably didn't catch it in time. That hurts. There's nothing, yeah. I've come back from vacation and not had some good times. Bob doesn't chase pH, but I have a system to balance out my pH between different tanks. I do both hard and soft water tanks. Yes, I definitely do not chase pH. I think, yeah, it's just too much work, and I don't know that there's any benefit to it, really. But if you have a system, you have a system. You gotta do what works. Everyone has their own way of doing things. That's what's great about this hobby. There's multiple ways to be successful doing the same thing. William says, I have a 20 long with black and white skirt tetra. What's the best fish to put with them? I have 8 tetras. Probably something. I mean, Corridoras has been the answer all night, so I'm going to stick with Corridoras. I mean, talk about an amazing fish. And if you got your schooling fish, you got your mid-water, upper water fish, get yourself some Corridoras. A smaller one, like a pandas, are pretty small. Even like pygmy, hastatus, habrosis. And that'd be a fun tank. You could do coolie loaches, might be pretty fun. You can throw a bunch of coolie loaches in there, as long as you never have to catch them out. The thumbnail is the co-op tank. I stole this picture from Jimmy, so it very well could be a co-op tank. Is there a dream fish you've always wanted but have not kept it yet? Yes, it's the Bentachromis tricotti. It's a Lake Tanganyikan feather. It's not a feather fin, but it's kind of a feather fin. It has really long lyre tails. It's like a neon blue and yellow. I guess I could just pull it up. Let's do it. Tricotti. And any excuse I can get to show this fish, I'm going to do it. Because this fish is awesome. This right here is definitely a holy grail fish for me. How many plants do you normally get out of a tissue culture cup of Scarlet Temple? So tissue cultures are very, very small. I mean, they're about the size of this can. So you don't get very many. I used to actually, before YouTube, I used to flip tissue culture plants. I would buy them and sell them in Facebook groups and things like that. And one of the best ones was like Styrogen Repens was one that you really got a lot of plants out of. Mosses were really good because they were actually like super healthy. Some of the best moss I've ever grown came out of tissue culture. AR Mini is also a really good tissue culture plant. I've never done Scarlet Temple out of tissue culture though, so I'm not sure. Hey buddy. Let's not play with that, all right? Thanks. My pygmy quarries are doing great on Eco Complete. I've never had an issue with quarries on Eco Complete. That is my favorite substrate. Gorgeous, never heard of it. Yeah, they're really pretty rare. And like most Tanganyikan fish, they're really fragile shippers. So getting them can be hard. And they're really, really hard to spawn as well. So you don't really see a lot of them. And yeah, but they're a really beautiful fish. And they're big too. Like I'm talking like 10, 12 inches. Not even counting the lyre tail. So yeah, they get pretty big. Uh-oh, we got a question for Candy. Danny says, "Evening, Candy. Hello." That's how she says it too. Hello, Candy. Plant question: do you use any plant light bulbs for your houseplants? If so, any you recommend? Trying to set up the shed for plants with one window. Eek. Eek. That's how she says it too. Eek. Hey, Fish Dreams is here. Hello, Fish Dreams. There you go. We are at the end of the stream. We are one short of 150 members. That is pretty awesome. The streak lives though. We got 5 members tonight. That's like, what do we have, like 7 streams in a row of getting 5 members? That is really awesome. I mean, oh boy, you can tell these guys are like ready to go out or something. How about hold on. How easy to make and replicate vinegar eel cultures? I'm listening to you and now I want to try. It is insanely easy. So basically, get yourself a mason jar. That's going to make your life easier to do it in a mason jar. And you get distilled apple cider vinegar, right? You get, you could do, there's different variations of mixes, but you could do like half vinegar, half water. You cut up an apple, put 1 apple slice in there, put in your vinegar eels in, and it'll last a lifetime. That's all you have to do. Now to harvest them, you're gonna want something kind of like this, but you want something with a longer neck. And basically, so let's take this bottle, right? Let's just say like this half here is your culture. You put in like some sort of filter batting right here. And then you fill the rest up with water. The water will always stay on top. And then the vinegar eels will go through the batting because they have to get to the surface to breathe. And then once they're through the top, then you just take a pipette and you suck them out. And that way you're only getting the water. You're not getting any of the mix down here. And because the pH will be so low, you won't get any mold. The apple won't go stale. It'll pretty much just last forever. Like seriously, it's amazing. Super easy. Really, really easy. Whew. Oh, well, we need 8 more likes. Can we get 8 more likes before we sign off? That's all I'm asking. Likes are free. I'm not asking for much. I'll even show my dog for likes. Show my dog for likes. Let's see. Braxton, come here. Don't knock this over, though. Hey, come here. 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 My shirt says, "Be kind to animals," as I'm manhandling a mastiff. Oh, get up here, buddy. Oh, get up here. Look how big his head is compared to mine. Oof. Hey, we need 8 more likes, buddy. Can you like for the dog? Oh. He's not very cooperative. I don't blame you if you don't like. Thumbs down the stream. That's what you get, dog. Thumbs down. Oh, hey, we got 303. Okay. We got 303. We can call it. All right, let's, This was, oh my gosh. All right, now we got to celebrate because we have officially hit 150. 150 members. Whew. That's a large number for a channel my size. That is super amazing. Now, I'm going to show my other dog. Other dog? Come here. Come here. Not you. I already showed you. Get out of there. Come here. Come here, Fancy Chance. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like this one because I can pick him up. Oh, kind of. I kind of picked this one up. He's still heavy, though. Yep. We call him Fancy Chance, of course, because he's always wearing his white tuxedo. There you go. Ugh. Aren't you? Always wearing your white tuxedo. 20-gallon tank, good for breeding. Okay, I'm going to answer this question as well before I sign off. Now I got them all riled up. When I pick up Fancy Chance, Braxton goes crazy. Thinks it's playtime. All right, so I'm going to tell you the best combination of fish to breed in a 20. This is a 20 tall. A 20 tall. Endlers or guppies, either or. Any type of cherry shrimp, but preferably orange or cherry, orange or red, because those are by far the most popular, and bristlenose plecos. But you want to get yourself some like super reds or long fin green dragons, and that single 20-gallon tank will make you enough money to fund your entire hobby. I guarantee it. I know I have a 20-gallon tank with lime green endlers, I think. Lime green. Anyway, so there's lime green endlers, there's orange cherry shrimp, and long fin green dragons, and that tank makes me so much money, it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm probably a billionaire and I don't even know it. But yeah, that's like, now you have to do a lot of water changes. If you're breeding for profit, you have to do a lot of water changes. So just keep that in mind. Plecos make a mess. So especially if you get a couple spawns in there going. All right. That's going to do it. I want to thank everyone for showing up. This was super fun. Went a little long tonight, but the last couple have been a little shorter, so, you know, it makes up for it. Oh, got to thank Fish Tank Barn, Bob Kaler, the Weiss for becoming a new member, Fisher and Fever, Colin, thank you. Also with the $5. I don't know if I'm getting choked up because we hit 150 or because I'm drinking too much carbonated water. Probably the 150, right? Colin with the $5 super chat and became a member. Joe Williams, new member. S with the $10 super chat. EJ with new member. Loop Noop Hoopy Oops, haven't seen forever. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Black Label Carling, EJ Fishes, and Aliska for the all $5 super chats. Thank you for the pup new ball fund they'll get some new balls. They are neutered, so maybe I shouldn't say that. Aqua Discovery, Rio, Priscilla, thank you. Rio for becoming a member. Thank you, Malta, for becoming a member, and Joel G JZ with the $1 super chat at the end. I appreciate it. I want to thank all the commenters, all the mods. We got a little heckling going on tonight, which is honestly a fresh of breath air. Usually when you start getting hecklers, that means you're doing something right. So thank you, hecklers, for showing up, and thank you, mods, for taking care of it. And all the lurkers, and especially, I want to thank all the subscribers. You guys are by far the most important part of this channel, so I really do appreciate it. That being said, we already got next week's topics, which is going to be, I'm going to say it right now, so if any other streamers copy this topic, we'll know that they stole it from me. Next week, we're going to talk about weird, oddball-looking fish, salt or fresh water. So do your homework. Let's get some weird-looking fish here next week. And until then, I hope you all have a great week. It's Monday. It's up to you to make it great.